You're looking at Pandora's Tower for the Wii. That's an action RPG where you play the role of an adventurer called Aeron. Your character, along with Elena and a merchant named Mavda, escape from the city of Helicon. Elena has been inflicted with a curse that turns her into a beast, and you're the hero at hand, ready to risk life and limb. To save Elena, and to prevent her transformation, you need to bring home the bacon in the form of beast flesh. During your exploration of the game's 13 towers, Elena keeps the home fires burning at your base camp, which is known as the Observatory. You'll need to return to the observatory often, as when you're away, the beast gauge at the bottom left hand corner of the screen begins to drain. If you decide to ignore Elena until the last minute, then the beast gauge will serve as a makeshift alarm. Allowing the gauge to drain completely is not a good idea. If you get back to the old ball and chain late from your adventuring, it's not just a case of finding your dinner in the dog. Failing to feed Elena on time results in the curse fully taking hold. At this point, it's too late to reason with her. As soon as you step through the front door, Elena takes on the instincts of the female praying mantis.
Elena, if only I'd returned sooner. This would never have happened.
There's a lot of variation in the combat in Pandora's Tower, as you carry two weapons at once. You'll start out with an upgradable sword, but as you progress you'll find a handful of other useful weapons. Arguably, the most noteworthy weapon in your arsenal is your chain, which is useful both inside and outside of combat. During combat, you can use your chain to bind enemies together, and this does more than restrict their movements. Strike an enemy that's bound to another with your chain, and both of them take damage. You can also use the chain to take shots at enemies from a limited distance. When you latch onto enemies with your chain, you can use the nunchuck to swing them around. Other weapons that can be used with your chain include a scythe, and you'll pick this up later on in the game. With the right materials and the assistance of Mavda, you can upgrade weapons free of charge. You'll accumulate lots of different knickknacks. Combining them together often produces useful items. Slain enemies occasionally leave behind beast flesh or other items to add to your stock. If you want enemies to leave behind the best items after they keel over, then you need to avoid taking damage during combat. Pulling your chain off enemies after killing them is another way of extracting better quality items. Items you discover can be stored in Aeron's inventory, and you can also store items in the observatory. The visual representation of your equipped items uses a Resident Evil approach. At the start, you can't carry or equip a great deal, but as the game progresses, the situation improves. Regular enemies aren't super clever. At the same time, don't underestimate these guys. If you fail to use the block or dodge maneuvers, then enemies can do serious damage to your health and your equipment. No RPG would be complete without a boss. Before reaching the bosses, you'll have to break chains blocking access to their chambers. Finding where to break chains is no easy task, but thankfully the game includes a useful map system. Bosses in Pandora's Tower are one of the high points and require skillful use of both the chain and the nunchuck. In order to cure Elena permanently, she'll have to eat lots of master flesh, and this can only be obtained from the bosses. To get the best outcome in Pandora's Tower, you'll need to pay a lot of attention to how you treat Elena. Even though Elena has the appetite of a Klingon and doesn't like her food unless it's moving, she does have her uses. Ply Elena with gifts, talk to her regularly and prevent her from turning into a beast, and your affinity grows. By keeping the missus sweet, she'll give you useful items like sage stones, and these can be used to return you to life after death. Loading times for Pandora's Tower are extremely fast, but you can only save the game at the observatory. If you focus on finishing the experience quickly, you can get through it in about 20 hours. If you fully explore your relationship with Elena and concentrate on creating the best equipment, you can double the playtime. Please don't forget to subscribe and be sure to check out theprotagonist.org for the full written review. Pandora's Tower doesn't squarely fit into the RPG genre, as it includes strong platform and action elements. Nevertheless, the package that's delivered here is a good one.